We have already discussed center of mass concepts in the past videos. Now we are going to discuss this problem. A wooden plank of mass 20 kg, and this mass is given as 20 kg, and this person mass is given as 60 kg, and he is starting from one end of the plank and he is moving on to the other end. The length of the plank is given as 10 meter. You should find out the displacement of the plank over the floor. So for this, what we need to do, we will consider this as the plank. We will consider this as the plank, and we consider this as the origin. This is origin. And a person is starting at this position, and this person is going in forward direction, and as a result, plank moves left side. I am considering that this plank has been shifted left side by some distance x. I am considering that when the person is moving in forward direction, I am considering that plank is going in backward direction by some distance x. According to Newton's third law, action is equal to minus reaction. And as a result, the person, like this plank, will be now displaced to new position, and that plank position now will be this. This is the new position of the plank, and the new position of the person is this. This is new position of the person, and the person has been displaced by a length of 10 meter minus x. The displacement of the person from the origin is 10 meter minus x, because left side the plank is been going by a distance x. That is displacement of the person. So as we know, center of mass position does not change due to internal force. We can use that concept here as center of mass position does not change. Center of mass position does not change due to internal force. Therefore, delta x CM is equal to m1 delta x1 plus m2 delta x2 divided by m1 plus m2. Delta x CM is equal to 0. That is m1, 0 into m1 plus m2 is equal to m1 into delta x1 plus m2 into delta x2. Right? Now let me take the masses which are being given here. M1, let me take it as plank mass, it is 20 kg, and displacement x1 for the plank is minus x. Displacement, plank is displaced by a distance minus x, negative x axis. M2, it is 60 kg, and x2 is equal to 10 minus x. That is right side. Now I will be using this relation here. 0 is equal to m1 is 20, x1 is minus x, plus m2 is 60, and x2 is 10 minus x. This gives you 20x is equal to 600 minus 60x. This comes to the other side. 20 plus 60, it is 80x is equal to 600, and this 0 gets cancelled. X is equal to 60 divided by 8. This is 30 divided by 4. 30 divided by 4 is x equal to 7.5 meter. This is actual answer. That means displacement of the plank from the initial position is is a value of 7.5 meter from its actual position. This is the displacement delta x, right? So as we know, x is equal to 7.5. We have considered it as x1 is equal to minus x. So x1 is equal to minus of 7.5. That is, excuse me, the displacement of Planck moves left by a length of 7.5 meter left side. This is answer for the question. Students, listen carefully. This is one more problem where there are three masses. Mr. Verma 50 kg and Mr. Mathur 60 kg are sitting at two extreme of a 4-meter long boat. This is boat, and boat mass is 40 kg. Standing still in water. This is in water. To discuss about a mechanics problem, they come to the middle of the boat, neglecting friction with water. So these two people are coming towards closer towards each other. They are coming to the center of the boat. Now, how far does the boat move on the water during the process? You want to find out how far the boat is moving. So for that, I'll use the same procedure which I have done in the previous problem. I'll consider this point as x-axis. I'll consider this point as x-axis. This is the origin. I'm considering this as origin. This is origin. And person, first person is going forward, second person going backward, boat is coming backward. So I am considering that this boat, the new position of the boat is this. This is the new position of the boat. This is new position of the boat, and this is center of the boat. This is center of the boat. Length from here to here, it is 2 meter, and length from here to here is 2 meter, and both the persons are now finally at this position. He is 50 kg and he is 60 kg, and this displacement which is obtained from the x-axis, I am considering it as x. Okay, so observe the diagram carefully. Nothing I have done, just I have shifted the boat left side by a distance x, and both the people are coming to the center of boat. Now I'll consider m1, which is equal to 50 kg, and x1, that means the displacement of the first person with respect to origin is delta x1. Delta x1 is that this total length from here to here become x1. So person from initially where he is origin, he is coming forward direction such that it is 2 minus x. So delta x1 will be equal to 2 minus x, because boat is going leftward x direction. So person is moving in forward direction, which is 2 minus x, that is delta x1, 50 kg mass going forward. m2 is equal to 60 kg, and delta x2, displacement of the second person from the origin, how much it is, you should now calculate. So actually displacement of the second person is this is x length, right? So initially he is at this position, right? He is at this position, and from this position the boat has come to the new position, which is x, and now the person is here, and this length is 2 meter. From here to here it is 2 meter. 2 meter plus this length is x. Therefore, what is the total length? It is 2 plus x. Person who is going backward, he traveled a length of 2 plus x, and person who is going forward, he traveled a length of 2 minus x from the origin. That is displacement with respect to origin. m3 is mass of the boat, which is 40 kg, and displacement of the boat, I am considering it as delta x3. You should find out that value, right? And Right side you can take it positive values, left side you can take it negative. So delta x1 it is positive plus, and delta x2 it is negative, so you can take it as minus. Delta x cm is equal to m1x1 plus m2x2 plus m3x3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Of course this goes here and this is equal to 0 because center of mass does not change with internal forces, and these people who are moving on the boat, that comes under internal force, so therefore delta xm will be equal to 0. Now 0 is equal to m1 is 50 kg, x1 is 2 minus x, plus m2 is 60 kg, and minus of 2 plus x, and plus m3 is 40 kg, and I should find out delta x3. This is you can write it as 52 is 100 minus 50x minus of 6 to 12 120, and minus of 60x plus 40 into delta x3. This is 100 minus 120, it is minus 20, minus 50 minus 60 minus 110 x plus 40 into delta x3 is equal to 0. Now bring this terms to the other side. So delta x3 you need to take it as like delta x3 is equal to x. We are considering the boat has been shifted towards x-axis, so I am considering it as x. That x is left side, so it should be minus x. So I will substitute that here. 0 is equal to minus 20 minus 110x minus 40 into x. Right? This is equal to minus 20 minus of 150x is equal to 0. Of course, it is already taken. This gives you x is equal to 120. I'm sorry. X is equal to 20 divided by 150, and this is minus. So x is equal to 20. This is 2 by 15. It is minus 2 by 15 meter. That means boat shifts left side from the origin. From the origin by a length of minus 2 by 15 meter. This is the answer for question. Gun of mass capital M firing a bullet of mass small m, and velocity of the gun you want to find out. This is velocity of the gun. I am considering it as v, and velocity of the bullet VR relative to the barrel of the gun. So that means velocity of the bullet with respect to gun is given as VR in the problem, and it is inclined at an angle of 60 degrees with the horizontal. The gun is placed over a smooth horizontal surface. Find the recoil speed of the gun. Now firing a bullet is the internal force. So internal force does not shift the center of mass of the system. Right? And along x-axis, I am considering that velocity of gun is v, and velocity of bullet is velocity of the bullet I want to find out. It is given as vb minus vg is equal to vr but along x-axis velocity of the bullet is Vr into cos 60. So I can write it as Vr into cos 60 minus velocity of the gun is equal to Vr. Right? So velocity of the bullet with respect to gun, I want to find out. So velocity of the bullet with respect to gun, I have just calculated it. So velocity of the bullet, you can just write it as, this V comes to the other side. It can be written as Vr into cos theta minus V. This is velocity of the bullet. Vr cos 60 minus V. That is velocity of bullet relative to this, what we say, gun, relative to the gun. So మనకి ఇచ్చింది డైరెక్ట్ గా bullet velocity కాదు. So it is bullet is moving with a speed Vr relative to the barrel. So relative to the barrel in the sense velocity of the bullet with respect to barrel is equal to Vr, that is given. Okay. So along x-axis. Now you can write m1 is equal to mass capital M, m2 is equal to small m, and v1 is equal to velocity of the gun, that is V, and v2 is equal to Vr cos 60 minus V. Right? Now according to the concept of center of mass, we can write velocity of the center of mass will be equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 divided by m1 plus m2. Right? You can use this, or even you can write law of conservation of momentum holds good here. That will be very easy to solve. So law of conservation of momentum you can use. Net change in the momentum delta p will be equal to 0. So as a result, like initially the total system is in the rest, therefore total momentum before and after firing should be equal. Before firing it is 0, therefore change in the momentum for the two masses after firing also should be equal to 0. So I can write it as mass of the gun into velocity of the gun plus of mass of the bullet into velocity of the bullet should be equal to 0. This is the concept which we will be using. Mass of the gun, I am writing it as capital M. Velocity of the gun, we are considering it as V. And plus mass of the bullet, I am taking it as mass small m. And velocity of bullet, it is Vr cos 60 minus V, which is equal to 0. This gives you, of course both are moving in different directions, so it is mv equal to minus m into Vr cos 60 minus V. This is minus m Vr cos 60, minus of minus will become plus mv, that comes to the other side, capital M, and plus I'll remove this negative sign and I'll just include here plus, so that it is a small m into V is equal to plus mvr into cos 60. Cos 60 is equal to 1 by 2. This is equal to mvr divided by 2. Therefore V will be equal to small m into Vr divided by 2 into capital M plus small m. This is the final velocity of gun. That is final velocity of the gun. Listen carefully. Velocity of The projectile is given as 100 meter per second. It is projected at an angle of 37 degrees above the horizontal. And at the highest point, the projectile is breaking into parts of mass ratio 1:3. So m1 is to m2 is equal to 1:3. I am considering it as mass of the projectile as 4m. Therefore, m1 will become m and m2 will become 3m. Total mass become 4m. Mass of the projectile is 4m. The lighter piece comes to rest. So that means lighter one is coming to rest. That means v1 is equal to 0. Find the distance from the launching point to the point where the heavier piece lands. So you want to find out v2. Distance he is asking. x2 you are supposed to find out. Distance he is asking, not v2. You want to find out where is the second part falling down. So this is being broken into two parts. One part here and the other part is here. One part is m and the other part is 3m. Now we know delta xcm is equal to m1 delta x1 plus m2 delta x2 divided by m1 plus m2. As the breaking of the projectile is due to internal force does not change center of mass path. So actually, where should center of mass? This is the origin. It is the origin. Where is the center of mass being shifted? Initially, center of mass is at this position here. With respect to origin, it is this. Now, after breaking even, the center of mass path does not change. So finally, center of mass is coming to this position. This is initially center of mass. What is displacement of the center of mass now? Displacement of the center of mass will be equal to range of projectile. Okay, so delta xcm will be equal to, what is formula for range? Range is equal to 2 times u cos theta into u sin theta divided by g. So therefore delta x cm is equal to 2 into, what is u cos theta? It is 100 into cos 37 into 100 into sin 37 divided by acceleration due to gravity. I am taking it as 10. So change in the position of the center of mass, that is delta x cm. Its value, if you calculate this total, you will be getting it as nearly 960 meter. That is delta x cm. And first mass delta x1, first mass it is coming to the highest point, which is half of the range, that becomes x1. So x1 delta x1 will be equal to delta x cm divided by 2, which is equal to 960 divided by 2, that is equal to 480 meter. So first mass coming to the highest point, it break and comes to rest position. So displacement of the first mass, smaller mass, is 480 meter. I want to now find out delta x2. So in order to calculate this delta x2, what I do, I'll just use this all values in the formula so that you will be getting the final expression. So delta xcm, which is given as 960, is equal to m1, it is m, and delta x1, it is 480, m2, it is 3m, and delta x2 divided by total mass is 4m. That is 960 into 4 is equal to 480 plus 3 into delta x2. From here you can write delta x2 is equal to 960 into 4 minus 480 divided by 3. So if you calculate this total delta x2 value, you will be getting nearly 1120 meter. That means first mass will be coming to rest. Second mass comes to a position of 1120 meter. A particle of mass 2m is projected at an angle of 45 degrees with the horizontal. this mass is 2m and initially it is center of mass at this position, and it is projected with a velocity 20 root 2 meter per second, and it is projected at an angle of 45 degrees, and after 1 second the explosion takes place. So after 1 second, it's not exactly half, after some particular time, 1 second, it is breaking into two parts, two equal parts. So m1 is equal to m2 is equal to m, two equal parts. As a result of explosion, one part comes to rest. First one is coming to rest, let me consider. Second one is not coming to rest, it is going on. Find the maximum height attained by the other part. So you should find out where this second part will go. You need to find out that, right? Now, let me consider at this position if the mass is breaking. At this position it is breaking. So this position I consider it as H, and this position I consider it as X. And this X is equal to X1. First one displacement is delta X1. First mass is being displaced to this position. And second mass, from there again it is going to some other distance. You need to find out that it goes to some other value. Now after 1 second, let us write down U initial. Initially, what is velocity of the projectile? U initially will be equal to 20 root 2 into cos 45 I cap plus 20 root 2 into sin 45 j cap. Cos 45 root 2, sin 45 root 2 gets cancelled. That is equal to 20 I cap plus 20 j cap. This is U initially. This is velocity of the projectile. So whenever projectile is going along x-axis, acceleration along x-axis is equal to 0, acceleration along y-axis is equal to g. Therefore, velocity along x-axis will be remained same as it is. Ux is equal to 20 meter per second, that will remain same as it is, and uy decreases with time. This is what we have already discussed in the projectile path. Now, at the time of explosion, how much, at what distance it has been exploded, we should calculate. So, at the time of explosion, Vy is equal to Uy minus G into T. This is equal to 20 minus G is 10 into time is 1. So Vy is equal to 10 meter per second. Therefore, I can now write at the time of explosion, velocity is 20 I cap plus 10 j cap, because along x-axis whatever the initial value it is 20 there, that 20 will remain as it is, this value will be remained as it is. But what about this 20j? As it is going up, it is decreased, and after 1 second it is becoming 10. That's the reason why before explosion the velocity of the projectile is 20 I cap plus 10 j cap. Okay, that is velocity of the projectile. And along x-axis how much length it is traveling. So along x-axis it is traveling a length of you should find out how much length it is traveling along x-axis, right? And this height already we know how much value it is traveling along y-axis. This length you need to find out. So I can write delta x1 is equal to, or else one thing we do, we will find out, we will use law of conservation of momentum. P initial should be equal to P final. And what is P initial? Initial mass it is 2m into velocity is 20I plus 10j, which is equal to m1. M1 mass is m, and it is coming to rest position, therefore it is 0, plus m2 mass is m, and you are about to find out its velocity. So therefore m on both sides gets cancelled. This is 40I plus 20J is equal to V2. This is velocity of the second particle. So V2 bar, it is equal to 40I plus 20J. You are supposed to calculate distance traveled along y-axis only. So therefore, first I will find out this h value. H is equal to ut plus half at square. H is equal to, what is initial velocity? Its velocity initially along y direction, it is 20 into 1 second minus half into acceleration due to gravity is 10 and 1. This is 2 5s are 10. H is equal to 20 minus 5, it is 15 meter. Now this value, it is 15 meter. After coming here, second body still travels some particular line length h dash. I want to calculate the h dash now. This is little bit lengthy question. I want to now find out this h dash. For that, what I do? H dash is equal to u square divided by 2g. H dash is equal to, at the time of explosion, what is velocity v2 along y-axis? It is 20. So therefore it is 20 into 20 divided by 2 into 10. 10 2's gets cancelled. So h dash is equal to 20. What is total height travel? Total height from ground is equal to 15 meter plus 20 meter, which is 35 meter. So the second mass, it is going to a height of 35 meter from the ground.